Hey, what's up, bass heads? Welcome to another episode of Bass Dad Car Audio TV. It's 2025. Actually, it's 2024 for me, but you're seeing this and it's 2025. I hope you had a great new year. Our first amplifier of the new year is the SMD 5K. I want to shout out DS18 for letting us borrow this amplifier. We're not keeping it. As you probably already know, I don't do that. I don't keep amplifiers anymore. If a company's willing to let us borrow one, we get it, we take it apart, dissect it, look at it, try to figure out if it's good or not, and then we just return it to them. I don't want to keep anything because I always want to present my reviews as unbiased. And this is going to be our unbiased look at the DS18 SMD 5K. Guys, stay tuned and stay till the end. Let's take a look at the packaging of this amplifier. It comes with DS18 branded packaging on the box. Looks good. The actual amplifier box is designed really well. I really like it. It looks like it's something expensive inside. It's also boxed 3 times. You shouldn't have any issues with shipping. It comes with an actual real manual that covers a few different amps. Bass knob we'll get into in just a little bit. And then the amplifier comes wrapped in plastic, which is good in case anything happens to get wet or anything on the way to you. You don't have to worry about it ruining your amp. Overall, I'm impressed with it. A lot more than I was with the last DS18 product I got. My first impression is really good. I think it looks really great. All right, here comes one of the best parts about getting a new amplifier. Pulling the tape off. Man, that is so satisfying. They put that on there to keep it from scratching while it's in shipping. Let's take a look at the inside. All right, so we got it unboxed, and I gotta say, man, this is a really nice looking amplifier. It kind of reminds me of almost like a Ferrari or something. The red fans against the black body just really look good. I wasn't sure from the pictures if I would like the acrylic window, but I do. It looks super clean in person, and I really enjoy it. The different LED lights really set it off. So my nitpick would be the cap stickers. Some of them aren't quite centered. I've seen this on other amplifiers, so it's nothing that just is only about this amplifier. I think Down for Sound struggled with it at first, but I wish they would use something other than stickers, like maybe vinyl wrap, or I don't know exactly what a lot of them use, but these just are off center, and it's the one little flaw that I see. It's just nitpicking, but it is there. On the power and ground side, we've got 2 power terminals, 2 ground terminals, which is really cool because a lot of companies kind of mix these up and don't really care about repetition. It's super dangerous to put them different kinds of ways, so I like how they have them right next to each other. We also have 2 8-gauge speaker terminals. They're 8-gauge. You should be able to get a couple of wires in there. So on this side, we start off with a Protect, Clip, and Power Light. Then we have 2 Tiffany style RCAs. Then we have a gain, a subsonic, And then a bass boost. It's a little different for a half bridge. We've got a way to manipulate the signal and a way to manipulate the decibels. Then we have the low pass filter, the remote input for a phone style connector. We also can adjust the phase, so you can go from 0 to 180. Then we have our slave and master switch, which is for strapping. That's where you can take another amp, another 5,000 watt amp, and link them together so you can control both through one set of controls. The set will operate as one amplifier. All right, that's different than just linking them together. You're actually able to control them all from one amp. So that's really cool that they have that on here. All right, let's take a look at this remote. If you've ever gotten anything that's RGB related, it probably came with one of these remotes. I've seen 100 of them. They're okay. They're really easy to lose though. So another nitpick would probably be if there was a phone app instead of this remote. Just be a lot easier to keep up with, or in addition to the remote. I know in 6 months when I get ready to change those lights, that remote is going to be nowhere to be found. And finally, the bass knob. I like the bass knob. It looks nice. It's got a little piece of acrylic over the front. There's no temperature readout or anything, but it does have clipping and power. It's small. It does what you need it to. The potentiometer feels good. It's made out of metal. All right, 4 ohm uncertified test. (2,157 watts, 75% efficiency). 4 ohm dynamic test. 2,824 watts at 4 ohms dynamic. 2 ohm uncertified test. 3,660 watts, 79% efficiency. 2 ohm dynamic test. 5,041 watts at 2 ohms dynamic. 1 ohm uncertified test. 5,104 watts, 65% efficiency. 1 ohm dynamic test. 8,482 watts at 1 ohm. All right, guys. I got all stabilization turned off on the camera. It's a test bench. We've got this S&D amplifier. Those yellow and black 8-gauge speaker wires. I've got my phone streaming to the amplifier or to the radio, playing DJ Billy E, Trap City Bass. Shout out DJ Billy E. This is a new box and speaker, so I let it break in just a little bit, but not much, so we'll see how it goes. So, let's see what happens. Let's look at this thermal footage via our Seek thermal camera. You can see it's all concentrated right there in the middle, about 113. We did just run the low ohm test though. So this is after all the testing and playing on the subwoofer. This is what it looks like. It's around 118. Definitely not the hottest I've ever seen. Definitely not the coolest either. I'd consider this probably a medium reading. Not bad at all. All right, that sounded really good. I couldn't give the subwoofer all the amplifier had because the sub's not rated to take that much power. But what I did give it sounded great. The rise stayed low, which I like a lot. And the amplifier just performed really well. I really like this amplifier, man. It looks incredible. And I just can't state that enough, like how good this thing looks in person. I was a little skeptical at first. I don't know if the pictures do it justice, but in person, it looks really sick. I mean, I would love to have a build with these amps. I wish that I hadn't told them that I would send it back because it is a super duper nice amplifier. It would be really cool to have a build with several of these and have all the LEDs, you know, matching your ride or whatever. I think it's a really cool amplifier. During the dyno test, it had a lot of dynamic headroom. All great scores, did more than it was rated across the board. In the 1 ohm test though, it could have had a better efficiency score. It was down pretty low, so I didn't like that. It's not a deal breaker, but it could have been better. There's some things about this amp that I really like, and some of them are really simple things that I don't know why other amplifier companies haven't done, like the clicks in the potentiometers. Like that just makes sense. Until you feel it, you know, you won't know that you ever missed it. But once I felt those clicks and they were really satisfying, like I always want to feel those. And I may not mention that, but the potentiometers, like where you set the gain and everything, they have little clicks in them. So you get a little tactile feedback every time you turn it, which is really nice, and it just kind of helps you set it. The other thing that I really like is the power and grounds being together, like the 2 grounds and the 2 powers. I've had a lot of amps where it's power, ground, ground, power, ground, ground, power. You know, it's just, they're all mixed up, and it's like whoever put it to, you know, designed it didn't really think about the person having to hook it up. So I like that they're grouped together. That's really neat. I love the LED lights. There's other amps out there with LED lights. They look nowhere near as good as this. This looks really nice under the acrylic panel. They just look expensive and nice. And again, I think it's really cool how you can just change those lights to match your interior or to match your ride or whatever. That's really cool. There's a whole bunch of different combinations. I would have liked to have seen a smart app for that feature though. It would have been nice to be able to control it with your phone. That's a nitpick, that's a wish, not anything that should be a deal breaker. The stickers on the caps probably was like the biggest thing I could see that was, you know, could have been better. You know, it just, you know, it's obvious that they went above and beyond to make this thing look good. So go the extra mile and get those stickers on there centered, or, you know, pay a few extra bucks to the cap company to use your logos on the material that's on the outside of the caps. But they're not the only company that struggled with this. Matter of fact, I've seen a ton of amp companies, you know, kind of go this way the first run and then they end up fixing it in a subsequent run. So the price of it, I wish it could be cheaper. I think I've seen some chatter online about about it being expensive. I'm not sure why though. SMD stuff has always been expensive. I've got a few of their tools on my test bench and they were not cheap, and they never have been. And I've got some of their fuse blocks and some other things, and they're not cheap. They're just not. They don't sell cheap stuff. So I think the amp is in line price-wise with what I would expect from SMD. Now, you know, we'll have to see like longevity and stuff like that. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm gonna try to hold on to this amp for a little bit longer, hook it up and kind of put it through some stuff and see how it does. And you know, we'll probably check back on it and see how it's been doing. But right now, man, I'm impressed. I like it. I think it's nice, and I think they nailed it. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I made a video about DS18. Matter of fact, that's how I got in contact with them. I made a video about DS18, and I was criticizing them for the stuff that they didn't do, for not, you know, putting a lot into their products to make sure that they were nice.
And they reached out to me, and I thought that they were mad when they first reached out to me, but they weren't. They wanted to know how, like, what my thoughts were on how they can improve, or what I thought about some things that they were doing. And I have to say that was refreshing too, because in car audio, if you say anything negative about a company, you get drugged. Like, you can get drugged if they've got fanboys, or if it's an unpopular opinion. And for these guys to, instead of like putting me on social media and trying to fight me and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, for them to reach out and say, hey, we hear you, and we kind of, I'm not gonna say they said they agreed, but they said that they wanted to do better. And I can respect the hell out of that, man. And then for a year later, for them to have an attempt that is phenomenally better than anything I had seen from DS18 is just crazy. I expect this from SMD. I expect them to put out really nice stuff. But for DS18, man, I have to say this is probably a game changer for them. And I'm sure that's what they went into this trying to do, is trying to kind of do a soft rebrand. And I say it's working, man. It looks good. I would definitely use these in my vehicle. I don't think I would have used DS18 before. So there's something to be said there, man. Let me know in the comments how you feel about these amplifiers, and would you grab one? And if you do want to grab one, do me a favor, look down in the description, and there is an affiliate link down there for sound. If you saw anything here that made you want to go buy one, you can use that affiliate link, and it will help keep the channel going. It just gives me a little bit of money to keep the channel going. It's not a lot, and it comes from Down for Sound side. It doesn't come from your end or anything like that. It's just a little bit of something to keep everything flowing. And guys, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you feel about this. Be respectful, all right? I know we all get passionate about car audio, but just keep it respectful. I think a lot of times people, they go beyond respect, and then they end up hurting somebody's feelings or something like that. And we don't want to do anything like that. We want everybody to comment and everybody to feel like they have a place to comment. If you like this video, YouTube is going to recommend this video right here, and they think that you're going to like it even more. So go ahead and check it out. And guys, I'll see you on the next one.